Hey there peeps, welcome back to another video. Today I thought we would play some Sims. Well, I guess not really play. We are building in The Sims. Enchanted by Nature pack came out recently, and in that pack you can become a fairy. And I was, slash still am, very stoked to be a fairy in The Sims. With that pack, I think building and decorating the homes, everything looks beautiful. I made a hobbit house for my main sim, and it was awesome. Now, I am not the best builder. I will admit that. But I thought I would go ahead and try to make kind of like a whimsy fairy cottage type thing. So with that, we can go ahead into the video. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and I'm going to build an Inniscreen, which is the town that came with the pack. And to start off, I am going to go ahead and just bulldoze this house that's already been on the lot completely and just start from fresh. I think this lot is really cool. It is literally in a big giant tree, which I've never seen anything on The Sims like that before, and I have been playing The Sims for literally as long as I can remember. I love The Sims. The Sims is one of my favorite games. So to start off with this, I kind of wanted to make it a tiny home originally. That ends up not happening. It ends up being a small home on the tiny home residential tiers. I wanted it to have a tower because I feel like towers make everything very whimsy and cool, especially whenever you do the pointy witch hat looking roof. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Anyways, I just wanted the whole house to feel kind of whimsy, so I'm doing a full glass tower, and I'm gonna do this stone that came with the pack on it as well, in kind of like a reddish brown tint. I felt like it looked more earthy that way. Like I said, I am not the best builder, so this did take me about 5 to 6 hours. Building it actually took me like 4-ish, but I had started off with a completely different build, and then my power went out because it was storming really bad and I hadn't saved, so I had to start completely over. But in this, I wanted it to have a front porch, but the front porch was causing so many difficulties, and I couldn't figure out what shape I wanted it. It ends up being this really weird shape that literally is kind of ugly. But I feel like I end up saving it in a little bit by adding fencing around it. And I also really just could not figure out what door I wanted on this house. So I try out a bunch of different doors, and I finally decide to settle on this one with the little wreath because it kind of gave fairy vibes. Like the fairy went out there, she picked the sticks and the leaves and the flowers and put it all together into one giant wreath, and I thought it was really cute. And that's kind of the vibe that I wanted for the house, is that this fairy was a collector of sorts. She was kind of weird, she was kind of whimsy, I wanted the house to feel cluttered, just kind of odd, which I feel like using the mixture of both of the two types of windows that is given in this pack helped with that, with the mismatchy, weird, whimsy vibe. I thought it was really cool that we could add plants to the top of the roofs now, which we couldn't do before really without using cheats. So I kind of went a little overboard on this build with the plants. However, it is so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Nothing wants to go up there, and it only wants to go up there in a certain spot, so then it kind of looks weird that it's all clumped together in this one spot. And I mean, that's partly because the roof isn't flat, it's curved and wavy and weird. So I did end up fixing that. I did end up kind of flattening the roof a little bit, which I don't really feel like it helped. I did find these plants that come with the pack, and I thought that looked really cool. So here I wanted this tower to be completely covered up with ivy. I wanted it to look overgrown to add to the kind of whimsy vibe, and I felt like the fairy would be a very like earthy plant fairy, so I feel like she would let the ivy overtake her house and she would think it's beautiful. I did not make a sim for this house. I kind of like thought up who I picked, like what kind of fairy person I pictured in this house, and I ran with it a little. I kind of honestly hate that little back patio thing. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I'm adding a pond, and it's a very small pond, and I'm really bad at making ponds as well. I can't make a good shape at all. But I really tried with this one, and I feel like the shape came out to be decent. It's very small though, and decorating the pond to where it looks good is so hard for me, and all of the pond little accents and decorations just wasn't working for me. So I opened up debug in hopes to find some really good landscape and really good like plants, outdoorsy plants, and I feel like I did good. Oh, I loved this log with the mushrooms on it. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. And I don't know about the logistics of there being a tree on top of a giant tree, but whatever. Maybe it adds to the whimsy. I end up finding these debug rock wall things, and I thought it would be so cool as a fence. So I just put a bunch of these pieces together and made a fence, and I feel like it turned out really well, and I think that it's honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole entire build. I kind of end up jumping around a lot, especially with the landscaping. I just can't make up my mind, and I can't tell what is good and what's bad, and I just recently started seriously getting into building on The Sims. I've never been good at it before, and I'm honestly kind of a really big perfectionist. So if I'm not good at something, I will refuse to do it again. And I know that's really bad. I'm working on it, which is why I have been practicing building. I'm honestly really proud of the way that this turned out, which is why I am posting it. I really, really loved these little plants with the, I don't know what they are, but it has like the little pink, like, things coming out. I don't know what they're called, but I added them everywhere, and I think that they are really, really pretty. Made the landscaping, and here I decided to put in an alligator. Well, I couldn't decide if I wanted an alligator or if I wanted a swan, but I ultimately landed on the alligator because I feel like having an alligator in your pond is kind of cool. Especially if you're like a little fairy living by yourself in the woods. Like you need somebody to protect you. And that is the alligator. So the backyard here kind of changes up a bit. I thought she would kind of be pretty cool to have bees and the bugs as her pets. And I figured she'd want to plant a lot and she'd kind of want to ultimately be able to provide for herself in that sense. Like she's kind of like a homesteady type vibe. But really, it's like she's just living off of the land and off of nature. So I guess now we're finally moving on to the inside here, and it's a very, very small home. Oh, just kidding, we're going back outside. Oh, nope, we're going back inside. So it's a very, very small home, and I really had to rack my brain on how I wanted the inside to be set up. I don't know, you'll see different variations that I have, like this in front of the windows. I figured it would be the dining set. That ends up changing. Spoiler alert. It ends up changing because I couldn't figure out the layout of the kitchen. And I know in the new Enchanted by Nature pack, technically, we do not need food for the fairies. They don't eat. But it feels weird to not put a kitchen in there. So I wanted to put a kitchen in there. Sorry. She can maybe use it for her guests. The way that I kind of was making this, I was kind of inspired by Mr. Tumnus from Narnia, and I know he is not a fairy, but I liked his vibe. I liked that his house was a little cluttered, but very warm and cozy and inviting. So that's kind of where I wanted to channel warm, cozy, and inviting in this home. I feel like she would be very inviting to any guests that come over, whether they be fairies or be human or plant sim or, vampire, werewolf, mermaid, whatever, whatever we have in Sims. I use multiple packs in this. I tried to mainly use Enchanted by Nature, but that rug there is from Life and Death, and I felt like it fit the vibe very well. Because I feel like she would love all animals, and she would love all plants and flowers. And the crow. Can you hear my cat meowing? I hope you can't. But, oh, we jumped back outside. See, like I said, I kind of am very back and forth with this, with landscaping outside and also decorating the inside. I don't know why I can't just focus on one task at a time, but I can't. So this wooden mushroom end table is the cutest thing and probably one of my favorite items, like furniture items in the pack, which might be dramatic, but I think it's the cutest thing and I would die to have that in real life. And at first I thought it would be really cute to have that pop-up book on the end table between two armchairs, because like in if you've watched Narnia, in the beginning they're having tea, Mr. Tumnus is telling them a story with the fireplace, and that's kind of, like I said, that's the vibe that I wanted to give off at first. That, spoiler alert, that changes. A lot of things change in this build. I try to cut out a lot of me just putting in useless junk. So in this area, I really wanted to put something there. I just couldn't figure out what the right thing was. I thought that chest could be a chest for her treasures. Like I said, I feel like she was a collector. But I ultimately decided on there being music, because I feel like she would have a lot of people at her house gathering for get-togethers, or she would invite friends over. And she is not the fairy that would have TV, and I felt like music would be the best way that she would think to have her friends over. So in this moment, I'm really trying to look for fire pokers for the fireplace. I knew we had one, but I couldn't find it when searching for fire poker, and I couldn't remember what it was labeled as in The Sims. So as I'm trying to find it, I give up and I go upstairs to decorate the upstairs, actually. But I was just going through all the decorations. I ended up finding a bunch of things that I decorated the bottom half with that I thought would be good. So, like I said, I gave up on searching for the fire pokers because I was annoyed, and we are now building upstairs. Very teeny tiny little bedroom. There's honestly not much room for anything in here. So I have her bed, which is the new bed with the Enchanted by Nature pack, and I would die to have that bed as well because I think it's beautiful. I try to bring the earthy outside vibe inside of here with the flooring that kind of gives me tree. I wasn't really gonna do a dresser in here, but I saw the clothes, the fairy clothes, and I thought it was adorable. So I had to put in a little wire rack thing. And oh, I wanted the very tippity toppity to be her apothecary thing, and only fairies can enter by immediately flying up there, but it just wasn't working out. So I completely deleted that. And this second floor of the tower is the bathroom, but the first layout that I had, which you can see, was just not working out. Bathroom is too tiny, and I could not have that beautiful, gorgeous bath. So instead we do the shower, and we honestly, this bathroom, there's nothing too special about it. It's like a sink, a shower, and a toilet with a rug. Like, I can't put anything on the walls because it's all glass in there. So there's really nothing special about that. Like I said, though, I wanted the top third, like the third part of the tower to be her apothecary space, but that wasn't working out either. So I decided her apothecary space would be outside as she is foraging for the items that would be used in the apothecary space. And that is where I'm putting here. We're going to put it in the backyard area where she would have all of her guests anyways. In this part, I'm just trying to find more things to kind of fill up the backyard and make it a little bit more whimsy. and more fairy-like. So I find this cute little well that's glowing. Oh, and I also landscape the backyard a little bit more, and we're done. Okay, so now that we finished the speed build portion of the video, I figured we would do a little walkthrough of the house, and you can see a little bit more details of what I made and what I built. I did end up making a fairy sim to move into the house so you can see all of the pond elements that I put in there. So I guess let's get into the house. So anyways, here is the house that I built in a screen. So here's the pond. I added dragonflies. When it's nighttime, there is also lightning bugs. Alligator should start appearing soon. Okay, whatever. We'll give up on the alligator. Anyways, so here's the outside of the house. I think that it turned out really well. I'm really proud of this build. And we enter into the kitchen despite her not needing to eat. She is trying to learn how to cook for her friends that are not fairies. So I thought that was a cute little touch to add. These baskets, I honestly kind of thought that they looked like the caps on acorns, and maybe she went out there and, you know, decided that she wanted to collect these acorn caps. I don't know. Over here, just some cozy blankets and pillows. And here's the cozy living room setup with the little mushroom as like the ottoman. So this is the cute little reading area. She has all these books over here. By the fireplace, cute little reading area. A house plant over here. In the dining room. And this door exits out to the backyard. But upstairs, here is her bedroom. She has this little trunk that I figured she would kind of have to fill all of her collectibles. And y'all, nothing changed with the bathroom. Y'all saw the bathroom, just a plain, boring bathroom with nothing in it, pretty much. So all that's left is the backyard. Here is the backyard out here. Since the apothecary table is out here, and I figured that this is where she would be curing her patients. They have seating areas out here where they can enjoy some tea. She has some apothecary items out here like the small critter bones. She has the cowplant horn. Oh, there's a charm on it? Oh. Anyone in possession of this charm will feel a sense of dread when it comes to their luck getting worse, even more when they have multiple. I didn't know that, but whatever. She has, some little dust and trinkets. She has a little crow, a birdhouse. Then over here, she has her bees, her bugs. She can summon what's his face. I don't remember what his name is. Honestly, I mean, there's really not much out here. She has the wild rabbit home, the bird home. Other than that, there's really not much. I mean, there's a lot of like little details of stuff, but I mean, it's a pretty small, just comfy, cozy home. There's nothing too special to it. I made sure to, oh, I didn't mention this. I made sure to give her a fairy home as well so she can throw her fairy dance parties. She can regenerate her emotional aura and everything, but other than that, this is the house. I hope you guys enjoyed. First time I have felt confident enough to film a speed build of me building something. Like I said, I have really loved Sims. I've literally been playing Sims since as far back as I could remember. I played all of the Sims, and up until recently, this is the first time that I have felt confident in building. So I hope that it was at least decent, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please comment down below if you are playing Sims and are excited for the new Enchanted by Nature pack. Anyways, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, that would be really sick. I would really appreciate it and it would make me very, very happy. I hope you come back and watch more videos. Other than that, thank you for watching this one, and I hope you have a good rest of your whatever time it is, day, night, evening, 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!